It involves new technology and old-school puzzle solving. In this case, a puzzle about this well-known Charlotte hotel and a mystery that dates back 3 decades.
I was in shock. I was like, are you serious?
Becky Insogna was not expecting what she got when she answered the phone late one Sunday night a few months ago.
My life has felt like a roller coaster, actually. I'm between a 2020 episode and a Lifetime movie.
The call was from a forensic genealogy specialist who'd been trying to solve an old Charlotte mystery.
In 1988, in what we now know as the Dunhill Hotel here in Charlotte, that building had been abandoned for a while, and Dunhill Development had started working on the building to make it into what we now see as a hotel. In that process, they located human remains in the elevator shaft.
With little to go on at the time, the case was unsolved for decades.
In 1988, there was no technology like this. So those bones sat in storage in a box, and in 2022, we carried those remains to Raleigh,
where a forensic anthropologist managed to get DNA from the bones and sent it to a genealogist who used websites similar to Ancestry DNA to build a family tree.
We take that DNA from an unknown person and we submit it into a consumer database, and they're a John Doe or a Jane Doe, but we build a family tree around that person.
I mean, he went missing, I want to say back in the early 80s. I think I was probably 11, maybe the last time I saw him.
Turns out the man in the elevator shaft was Becky's uncle.
She was like, "Are you related to an Oliver Mundy?" And I'm like, "Well, yes."
They called him OD. He served in the Army in World War II, fought in several key battles, but had a tough time in later years and often slept on the streets. Becky says her father always worried about his older brother.
He was, very, very honorable and brave. And I'm sure that, serving like he did and fighting for the country and for us, I mean, that's just a lot.
Her dad died never knowing what happened. She's grateful she now has answers.
What's it like to be able to give families closure after all this time?
I hate that word. Closure indicates somebody's going to feel better. I don't think I can give them that. It was great to be with them to see the relief. I give them answers. I guarantee them I'll give them answers.
Like I said, everybody was just in shock because it's been so long. And just to get his remains, back with us. So my plan is to put my uncle with my dad and my family where he needs to be. And that would make my dad so happy.
Since learning his fate, Becky has worked with Veterans Affairs and learned her uncle received several medals and 2 Bronze Stars.
I guess just thinking, about my uncle, everything he went through, how my dad just worried about him so, and just to get him back with my dad. I wish they would have been able to identify him a lot sooner, because then my dad, would have had some closure at that point. But it's definitely better late than never.
CMPD has solved 3 other cases in this same way, and they have 8 other cases they'd like to tackle. They just need funding to do that. Reporting in Charlotte, Michelle Bowden, WCNC Charlotte.